Good day, everybody. My name is Shaneria, and this is Talking Crime. On this channel, we do reaction videos. I have missing cases videos and crime videos. So if you feel in the need of something to watch, hit that subscribe button, join the family. We have lots of room over here to share. You guys, if you are returning, you know how we like to do it. We like to get straight into the reaction. We comment our opinions down below. We check for the digital planners and journals, and also the planners and journals on Amazon. I don't want to hold y'all up. Let's get started on today's reaction.
Hey y'all, so this is gonna be my story about how my mom gave me up for adoption and then she told my dad that I existed like 20 something years later. So y'all, I really don't know where to start with this story, but I'm gonna start with the things that I definitely know. So I was born in 1996 and I was born in Statesboro, Georgia. I was adopted by the lovely Mary and Randall King of Glenville, Georgia. And I know that my mom was going to Ogeechee OBGYN. I also go to that same OBGYN today, and my biological mom was going to the OBGYN as well. So just a little backstory about my mom and dad that adopted me. They couldn't conceive naturally because my mom had to get a total hysterectomy. And so I don't know how exactly the doctors stayed in contact with my mom for her to be able to adopt me, but they were in contact because I didn't get adopted the same year that my mom had her hysterectomy. Okay, so now it's 1996 and my biological mom is away at college in Statesboro going to the same OBGYN as my mom that adopted me, and she gets ready to have me. She knows that she doesn't want to keep me though. So the doctors in Statesboro somehow contact my mom and dad in Glenville, and they asked them, hey, like, do you want a kid? So for my parents, this is, a dream. They're excited. Of course they want a kid. So they accept the offer, and 3 days later, I am adopted. I don't know, legally how long it took or anything like that, but I was adopted that fast. I had a normal, great life. I had the life that any kid could have dreamed of. My parents were amazing. My family was amazing. I don't regret it at all. But when I turned 16, 17, I got really, really curious. My parents had always told me since I could talk and understand that I was adopted. They didn't want anybody else telling me. And I'm from Glenville, Georgia, which is very small town. We have 2 red lights, a population of about 5,000, and they just knew that if they didn't tell me, somebody in this nosy behind town would tell me. So boom, I'm 18, and behind my back, my parents hired a private investigator or something to try and find my biological mom. I had no idea about it, and they never said anything about it. So fast forward, I graduate high school, and I'm now in college, and I'm a senior, and I get curious again. So I asked my mom, if she had any papers with names or anything like that. And she gave me all of my records, anything to do with my adoption. And I began searching. So at the time, social media was a huge thing. And so I just started on Facebook. So I'm on Facebook, and literally, I think it was the first or second day of looking at profiles, and I seen my biological mom picture, and I showed my mom, and I was like, that's her. And she was like, she does favor you. I was like, she does. I was like, she's only 2 hours away. I was like, that's her. So I sent her a message on Facebook. So some time passed and I didn't get a response on Facebook. Mind you, I'm in contact with my mom the whole time, telling her like, hey, I sent the message, I said this, I said I didn't want anything, you think she'll respond? And my mom's so encouraging. Like, to know her is to truly love her. I couldn't have had a better mom. So again, behind my back,
I like that her adoptive parents are very supportive in her, like, knowing where she came from and who her biological mom is, and they very, very, you know, like, participating in this whole thing. A lot of times, often you hear adopted children, you know, state like how hurt they was when a family member or friend of the family or somebody spilled the beans about them being adopted. They were very hurt and just didn't, you know, see their parents like holding the secret so traumatic from them. A lot of times, often, but I understand where her adoptive parents came in because they wanted her to know. They didn't want her to just out of the blue find out like this is not really who you are. They didn't want her to feel uncomfortable or out of place. They were very, 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 you know, participant in the fact that they wanted her to know and they wanted to help her.
My back, this lady also is on my biological mom's page. And so my biological mom was living in Augusta, and my mom was on her page and she seen that she worked at a school. And so y'all, my mama called the school. So when my mom called the school, she asked them, did they have blank blank working there? And so they said yes. And so she asked to speak with her.
Again, she is really, really strong, you know, and really open-minded, because imagine you finding out your biological mother is working at a school and working around other children, but she gave you up for adoption. And we do know that a lot of times these people that's giving kids up for adoption, a lot of times they are young. They are scared. Sometimes they feel like they're on their own. Like, so... like, my emotions will be all over the place knowing that she works at a school with children, but yet gave me up. But this young lady is really, really, really strong to, you know, like, be open-minded.
So I think the first time she called her, she didn't really respond to her. So to know my mom, she's determined. That's where I get it from. So she called the school again. So this time, I don't know what it is. My mom is a praying woman. She's in tune with God. So when she talked to her, she told her my birth date and where I was born. And this time she said, yes, that was me. I had a child on that day at that same hospital as well. So my mom goes on to say, like, hey, you know, that's my daughter. We raised her. She doesn't want anything. She messaged you on Facebook. Do you mind responding to her? So she does respond and we begin to connect. And at first we did not meet. If y'all want to know why we didn't meet, I will do a story time on that. Okay, anyways, but when we did meet, I had just had a terrible breakup, and I was visiting my friend who had just had twins in Augusta, and I asked her to come see me at the hospital in Augusta, and that is how we first met. Now, when I was adopted, I thought I was just adopted, you know? I didn't know that I was adopted and nobody knew that I existed. If y'all want to hear a story about all of that, then let me know and I'll do part 2.
One thing to be adopted, but another thing for nobody but the person that gave you up, which is your biological mother, knowing. So let's hear some more.
Hey everybody, welcome to part 2. So first, I would just like to say I am completely overwhelmed with the support from you guys. Y'all are amazing, and to think that I was scared to come to TikTok this whole time. So after watching my part one, I realized that it sounded as if my mom was going to the doctor the whole time that she was pregnant. But in all reality, she was in denial about being pregnant. She had a lot going on with her home life, which I might do a story time on that if y'all want to hear more about it. That's a maybe though. Okay, so now that all of that's out of the way, let's get into part two. So
before we get into the part two, just remember, always down below in the description, I have every person that I'm doing a reaction video off of. I have their TikTok handle down below in the description. Also with my planners and journals. And also I need you guys to drop down in the comment section what you think about these reactions. Like, let's all conversate about these reaction videos.
So we left off with me telling y'all that I had met my biological mom at the hospital in Augusta. However, what I didn't know was that no one that she knew that I existed. So when I say no one knew that I existed, she also has other kids. So she had a son and a daughter, and she was in a relationship with their dad. So they didn't know a sister, nieces, nephews, cousins. Nobody knew. So when I say nobody knew I existed, not even my biological dad knew I existed, and they knew each other from Augusta. So when they got
like, they should put some type of law, like put down some type of law where both parties, both parents know that the child is being adopted or, like, you know, being taken into foster care. But I think now they do have like laws like that. But wow, 20 years and this man know nothing.
So when they got in Statesboro, they were both at school, they had already knew each other. So now that I have met my biological mom, me and her continue to connect, and we basically talk my whole senior year of college. So the whole time I'm talking to my mom, she's really nervous to tell everyone, like, about me, that she had a daughter that exists and that she gave up for adoption. And of course, you know, I'm totally understanding that is a lot of information to dump on somebody. However, from my experience and my parents telling me early, I really wanted her to go ahead and tell them because I didn't want them to be even more upset than I knew that they were already going to be. So one day she eventually tells them, and my graduation is coming up soon in May, and everybody is able to make it to my graduation. Okay, y'all, so if y'all look at the picture, then you'll see that both of my families were able to come to my graduation, and it was a great time. I was so happy. So after I graduate college, y'all, I start building a bond stronger and stronger with my biological family, my biological siblings. I go with my biological family to Columbia, South Carolina to meet a lot of my cousins for the holidays. I believe it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. So as I'm bonding with my biological mom and getting to know her family and more about them and finding out why things make so much sense as to why I am how I am, because I definitely am them. I began to ask my mom about my biological dad, and she answers me anything that I asked her during this whole journey, or even to this day. Like, if I ask her anything, she doesn't mind at all answering, and I love that for me. So now that she's told her family about me, and things are becoming somewhat normal to us, she now has to tell my biological dad that I exist. So for a while, she played the same role as me. She was on Facebook trying to figure out which page was his, you know, remember his last name, because I don't think they went to the exact same high school. So I'm not very clear on that, but she had a hard time finding him at first. So once she found the correct page, she messaged him and let him know about me. And before I could even message him, he had already messaged me. So after my mom connects me and my dad together, we do eventually meet as well. So y'all let me know if y'all want to hear a story time about that, because I can definitely do a part 3. Just let me know.
Oh my God, I am so happy for her. Usually when you hear these type of stories, like you hear like bad stuff, like, oh, I was adopted, my life was horrible, I was, abused. Like, her story is literally genuine. Like, basically her biological mother did the right thing. This was her destiny, this was her path, and I am happy that she's creating a tight bond with her biological family as well as her adoptive family, being okay with it. And now she's able to meet both parents, the mother and the father. Like, when I say this is a good outcome, it's like Cinderella, right? Well, kind of not like Cinderella, but the ending does end, in a good way. So yeah, I like this for her.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to part 3. So yes, y'all, I'm in my car this morning. If you follow me and you look at my story, we had pageant day yesterday, so my whole household is still asleep, and I'm not trying to wake them up. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I have forgotten that I have lost over 250 pounds. So when I posted that picture, some of y'all was trying to find me. If y'all want a story time on how I lost that much weight, let me know. I will do a story time on how I lost that much weight. So in the photo, I am the girl with the cap on. Also, a lot of y'all got confused because I think I refer to my biological mom as mom in part 2. And I do tend to do that.
I love that for her. She calling both of them mom and not one by, their, legal name. Like, she's saying mom. So I love that for her.
To do that unless I'm talking about her and my adoptive mom at the same time. So sorry, y'all, bear with me. Okay, so let's get into part 3. When I left off, I was telling y'all how I got to meet my dad. My dad also never badmouthed my mom. He always only had great things to say about her. So my dad is retired military, and so is my dad that adopted me as well. And so I live close to a military base, Fort Stewart. My dad had been stationed at Hunter Air Force Base and Fort Stewart throughout his whole time serving in the Army. So me and him begin to connect, and we can't believe like how close we had been to each other this whole time and never knew each other. Mind you, my dad that adopted me is also military, so they probably crossed each other at these bases like over and over and over again. So when we meet, he is actually still in the service, and he is stationed at, you guessed it, Hunter Army Airfield in Savannah. So I had just graduated college, and I was working a paid internship at Moody Air Force Base in Valdosta, Georgia. And upon graduating, I accepted a job at, yes, you guessed it, Fort Stewart, Georgia. Now, at first, I wasn't going to tell y'all locations and things like that, but follow me now. And every single story that I will tell you, where I'm located is so important. So me and my dad are connecting, chatting back and forth. And one day he's off and he's like, I'm going to come take you out to lunch so we can meet. So when I graduated Georgia Southern University, the real GSU. Yes, I also went to college in Statesboro, like both of my biological parents. I graduated with a bachelor's in child and family development. So the job that I accepted in Fort Stewart, Georgia was at a child and family development center. So y'all, this man had already drove from Savannah to Hinesville, Fort Stewart, to take me out to eat for lunch. And we are short-staffed, and I was a lead, so that means that I was gonna stay before anybody else. So I know he waited on me like 30 minutes to an hour before I could even get on lunch to be able to meet him. So y'all, once my relief finally comes and I get to take my hour lunch, he takes me out to eat to hibachi. He asked me what's my favorite food, and everybody knows I love Japanese or anything you can cook in front of you. That's my jam. So we go eat. We're talking. He tells me about all his other kids. I can do another story time on that if you would like. He's married to a lovely wife. They have a beautiful family. And we just began to get to know each other. So y'all, my heart was truly full now. I mean, yes, I have met my biological mom, my biological dad, my siblings. I'm connecting with everybody. Everything is going like it's supposed to be going, you know? So I don't know how much time has passed, but I know that I had already had my first child. And y'all, guess what? My biological mom drops another bomb on all of us and tells me that I have another brother that she gave up for adoption. Now, if you were with me for part 1 and you checked the comments, you seen that my sister-in-law also commented, and this is so true. Okay, y'all, I know y'all gonna want a part 4, 5, 6, 7. This is probably gonna keep going, but I just want to say thank y'all. Y'all are amazing. Y'all got me to 1K in one day. And if this story has touched your heart, share it with somebody. Share it to a friend. Share it to a family member. Share it to somebody that you know that is adopted. Because being adopted can be very intimidating. And, you know, it might do somebody good to hear a positive experience. So share it.
Very good outcome, very good experience. I like her story. Like, I hate to see those sad stories where people just had a hard time growing up. They knew they wasn't, you know, like part of the family. They felt like an outcast. Her story really is a good story. So I do hope that her story does help other people. So let's you know, look at this part and then we're done with this story.
Welcome to part 4, you guys. Like, are we really here? Did y'all see me sipping that coffee? And was because y'all had me busy. Y'all, I have been busy searching through my messages between me and my brother to try to get this part for y'all. So upon searching, of course I was wrong, and now I gotta correct myself, y'all. I had not had my first child when we learned about my brother. I was pregnant. Y'all, please forgive me. Sometimes my memory is very foggy. I have nerve damage and I have neurological issues that affects my memory. And I can do a story time on that if y'all would like. I know y'all want a story time. Okay, y'all, so let's get into part 4. So when I left off on part 3, I was telling y'all that my biological mom had just told all of us that she had another son that she gave up for adoption. So if you look at the screenshot, you'll see that that is the first initial conversation between me and my other brother that was also given up for adoption. And so before I keep going, I just want to say that I have complete permission from my brother to tell his parts of the story. Shout out to Sam. So y'all, when I found out about my other brother being given up for adoption, I was upset. So I was extremely upset, mostly because I felt like when I found her, if I had another brother that was given up, if she didn't tell anybody, she could tell me, because why not? So it takes a while for the news to settle on me, but once it does, I'm like, oh wow, my brother had to watch our biological mom embrace me. Wow, he waited to be embraced because our younger siblings were upset. Y'all, so me and my brother are connecting. We're chatting on Facebook back and forth, learning about each other, asking each other about our stories. They're very similar. So if you've been following me this long, then you know that me and my other biological brother and sister were all raised in Georgia. Guess what, y'all? Sam is not in Georgia. So y'all, I don't know how, but my brother is way in Oregon, and he was actually raised by a married white couple. So y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little discouraged that he was so far away. Like, my story had been going so great, I was so excited, but Oregon, I'm in Georgia. So y'all, time passed. I have my first child, and it's the year 2021, and my brother's about to get married. So it's COVID time. I have a newborn, and my brother invites all of us to his wedding. Like, my biological mom, my other biological siblings, me, all my family. Y'all, so we all really want to go, but a little piece of me does not want the first time we meet to be at his wedding. You know, like, from the wife's point of view, that's definitely going to be a big day for her. Even though, love you sis, I know you wouldn't have cared. So y'all, unfortunately, none of us get to make their wedding. So y'all, we have both made efforts to kind of meet, but things just don't line up for us, and it is so expensive. If somebody sends you this, please share it. Please help me go viral so I can bring my whole biological family together. Pretty please.
Oh, I wonder what was so hard for the I wonder what was so hard for the other siblings to, like, you know, bear the news of having a brother also, especially not in the States. But this story, it just get to me because family is everything, especially if you are basically like not knowing your biological family and then finding out that you're adopted, getting to know that biological family. It's everything. Like, it just do something. I love stories like this where a family of eventually come together as one, meet, and everything goes right. But I wonder what was so hard for the other siblings to, you know, grab a hold of, okay, we got a brother, we got a sister that we wasn't raised with. You know, what was different, you know, far as her than him? And also, why did the mother keep both kids like a secret from every single body? Like, now at this point, I want to hear the mother's story, because not only did she give up one child, and in my mind, I'm like, maybe she was young, maybe she felt like this would be hard for her, and all the above, and then to find out that she had a second child that she also gave up too. And I wonder, was they back to back or what? Because now I'm curious. But you guys, this story touched my heart. I hope eventually her and her brother and her other siblings get to meet him and his family. I feel like at the end of the day, you know, y'all all uniting. It's a wonderful day. Someone's getting married. Like, I'm pretty sure that his wife wouldn't have mind, and he wouldn't have mind either. Like, this would have been a huge, like, reunion, like, plus a celebration of two people joining as one. And what better way than everybody come together on that special occasion? But, you know, everybody have their own, you know, reasons why or why not. But I hope all of them come together and just can be happy, because this story is very, you know, touching and beautiful. I hope that now the mother feels relieved of the secrets that she kept from the families. I hope the dads are, you know, very excited that now they know that they have children, and now, you know, they get to meet their children. Like, I just think that this story was very unique. I wanted to share it with you guys. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Drop down everybody in the comment section and tell me what you think about this story. Don't forget to check out my planners and journals in the description. Yeah, and just subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, but you reached to the end. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.